Hello viewers, if you are among those writing mathematics in WAEC 2023, you can never fail if you can follow Petakus simplified maths formula 1. Formula 1, study and master graph plotting. We have linear graph, quadratic graph, trigonometric graph, and statistics graph. This formula is very important because each year of writing mathematics in WAEC, there is always at least one graphical question. To prove this formula 1 to you, here is a compilation of 13 years past questions, and each of these years there is at least one question from graph. 2010, you have quadratic graph. The same 2010, you have statistics graph, construction of cumulative curve. 2011, you have quadratic graph in the objective session. The same year, you have statistics graph in the theory session. 2011, you have quadratic and linear graph together. 2012, you have quadratic graph in the objective session. 2012 again, you have linear equation graph, that is simultaneous linear equations graph. The same year, trig graph is also there in the theory session. 2013, you have quadratic graph. The same year, you have statistics graph. 2014, quadratic graph in the objective session. 2014, you have trig graph. 2015, you have quadratic graph. This question is special because you need to get the value of P and Q before you can complete the table of values. 2015, you have another graph, statistics graph. 2016, you have trig graph. 2017, you have quadratic graph in the objective session. 2017, you have another quadratic graph in the theory session. 2018, quadratic graph in the theory session. 2018, you have statistics graph, that is construction of histogram. 2019, you also have another statistics graph, cumulative frequency curve. 2019, the same year, you have trig graph. 2020, quadratic and linear graph in the objective session. The same year, you have another question. 2020, you have trig graph. 2020 again, you have statistics graph. 2021, you have quadratic graph. 2022, you have quadratic and linear graph together. The same year, you have trig graph. From this compilation, you will see that in some years, you even have two graphical questions. Hence, Formula 1 is very important. Studying and mastering graph plotting. The summary is that every year, WAEC, also known as WASI, sets at least one graphical question, linear, quadratic, trig, or statistics. If you can master the art of graph plotting, that question becomes a bonus to you. Many students don't answer this particular question, but if you can correctly, it makes your work to be outstanding. Solution to each question in this series will be provided in subsequent videos from the Voice of Petakus from 2010 to 2022. Stay tuned, keep watching, keep learning.